To me, Vivian Banks is a beautiful example of how a woman should behave and how a woman should pick a guy and how a woman should comport herself throughout her life while having a masculine edge and maintaining her femininity, right? If you watch her, you'll notice that she is a beautiful blend of both. And what I like about her is the fact that the results that she got with being with Uncle Phil, with Uncle Phil worshiping her. I mean, we could watch a clip right here of Uncle Phil, like the way he just worships her. This is something that maybe she's not consciously aware of, but we all can learn from this because I'll be honest with you. She reminds me of my previous boss named Georgina. Like if you guys watch my channel, you guys know about that. Where Georgina was not the boss of the counseling place that I worked at, right? She was the supervisor of the counselors, right? On top of her was the director. But for 2 months, my goofy self thought that she was the boss. Listen, Jennifer, like the whole time I thought that she was the boss. Well, guess what? I was shocked to find out that she was under Shalia, right? And Shalia had this nice, needy, creepy energy about her. She was like, "Oh, hey, the Lexus, how's your chakra?" Type of shit. Right? She didn't say how's my chakra, but you guys get what I'm saying. But Georgina had this like sternness about her that when you first met her, she was stern. But if she liked you or you were competent over time, that sternness softened up, and that made people value her validation. It was actually something that was really interesting. And the way that people reacted to her was kind of similar to Vivian Banks. But the difference with Vivian is that she kept a lot of her feminine energy because remember, Vivian worked at a college. Like let's first of all, yeah, let's watch this clip of Uncle Phil worshiping her so that we can understand the gravity of this. And this is something that you guys can also replicate in your lives. Now, it's just a show, but look at the way that he worships her, right? And the reason why that is,
I see every great thing a man could possibly want in a woman.
this is something that he wanted, right? This isn't he wasn't manipulated into being afraid of losing her. He wasn't manipulated into worshiping her, right? There's actually something that there's an element of luck behind it. I'm just going to be honest with you, but also there's another element that you guys can control that will increase the likelihood of getting this type of a relationship. Let's look at this. Honestly, I find this to be really beautiful. Look at this part, right?
Body fit for a goddess. Look how beautiful you are. Look. Look how beautiful you are.
Honestly, that is beautiful, right? But one thing about it is the most important thing behind all of this, right? Is that she picked the guy that wanted this, right? She didn't try to manipulate Uncle Phil into loving her. No. What what she got was she picked the right guy. Now, how did she do it? So, what's the first thing that you guys have to understand about how to replicate these results? Because this is replicable. First of all, Vivian Banks played her role. Okay, she wasn't trying to be dad. She wasn't trying to be a Terminator. She wasn't trying to be stronger than Uncle Phil. She played her role. Okay, like and the most important thing with a guy is to let a man be the man. A guy is not going to be afraid of losing you if you don't let him be a man. That's just how it is. The second thing, she never suffocated Uncle Phil. If you guys watch the show, she would travel to give talks at Berkeley, for example. At one point, she would go for like a day. Remember that scene when she was like, "Hey, Will, I'm about to go to Berkeley and give a talk. I'm gonna leave you with your uncle. Do as he says." And then there's a clip of Uncle Phil literally like going like this, like I Will. He was like, "Dun dun dun." Right? But she travels. She had a full-time job, so she wasn't with Uncle Phil the whole time. So anytime they would meet, Uncle Phil just completely missed her, right? But this is the most important thing. She chose the right guy. I don't care how feminine she is. If she picks fucking Tupac Shakur to raise her family with, this is not going to happen. Tupac would have cheated on her. The problem with this is that a lot of women nowadays are conditioned to believe that men like Uncle Phil are boring. Look at the way women talk trash about Michael B. Jordan. He's like a nerdy guy, and women call him lame. And a lot of women would choose to be with a guy like Future over a guy like Michael B. Jordan, right? Now, why is this important? Well, first of all, let's understand this of this video, right? This, because I know a lot of you ladies are thinking about this. Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to bend over backwards? Shut up, okay? This method involves you not bending over backwards. Some people are not worried about losing you. That's the first thing, right? So if you feel like you gotta bend over backwards, it's not meant to be. You're trying to seduce fucking Future, all right? Shanika, right? Right? Avery, right? Um, you can't convince someone who doesn't value a relationship to miss you. That you can't. Even if they want to, they have an inner saboteur that prevents them from finding intimacy and staying intimate with people. All right, because they're too busy prepping for their own options to replace you. Some people just cannot be happy. So Uncle Phil was the type of man that wanted stability. So too many women, what I see with the problem is that too many women try to force guys into value and stability. They just can't. So this is the number one mistake, right? Now, why is it, right? Well, understand this, right? Before you do all of this for a man, ask yourself, does this man deserve it? And how do you know he deserves it? Well, he wants this type of thing. This is also his dream. To be in a relationship should be a guy's goal. And the problem, again, is just that too many women are trying to force guys into relationships, all because the guy kind of says he wants the same thing, when in reality, he's too much of a coward to tell you that he doesn't want it. And you are too blind to see the contradictions, right? And so because of that, then you have to resolve to manipulative tactics, to watching the going to hell section of my videos. And that's problematic, right? Because if he's only afraid of losing you, when you got to apply the strategy, like making him feel jealous, he's not for you, right? I was talking to a client. I've been talking to a lot of clients, and this has been a very common thing. That's why I made this video, right? By the way, if you guys want to work with Father Alex 101, go to myfoottraction.org. You guys can see, if you guys want to see how my coaching calls are, they're fun, right? Check out if you guys know, we're doing a new podcast, the Mindful Attraction podcast, where it's live calls with Father Alex. You guys can talk to me, listen to your dating questions, and you guys can see me live on YouTube answering the questions. So you guys can watch that podcast by catching me live, or we re-upload them on Patreon for $5 a month, or we re-upload them on YouTube memberships. Right, so you guys can choose which one you want. It's long form videos. Some we cut them into clips, but we also include the long form videos. And there's no advertising, there's no long advertisement, so you guys can watch it to go to sleep. Hearing Father Alex as you go to sleep. And yeah, and if you guys want to have a private call, you guys can book a private call by clicking on the description down below. They're all confidential and they're fun, and you guys can see that I exist, right? Because people, I don't just live inside your phone, right? I do have a life, people. Yeah, that's right. Oxygen, you see that? So that's the first thing, right? And I'll be honest with you, this is to me is the most important thing. It's just that, man, to just not just women, men too. People just are horrible at picking their partners. Vivian picked the right guy. That's really what it is, man. So we're all right. So worry about losing you, right? Sometimes, no matter what. Also, this is another thing I want to include in this, right? Put it right here. Sometimes, no matter what you do, he'll never fear losing you, and this comes down in the quality of guys that you're choosing, right? Why are you attracted to too many cold guys? Well, most likely, the qualities that causes them to not be willing to be with one woman, you find that attractive. You call it being mysterious. Oh, he's mysterious. Oh, he's a rebel, right? And so that quality that should be a turnoff to you, because you're only thinking about it from a short-term perspective. If you were really thinking about, okay, does this person want a long-term relationships? Let's just say you date Future, right? For example, and you think about long-term. What you're gonna do, you're gonna judge his past. Look at his past family, right? Like, what has he done? What are his relationships? You're gonna look at his relationship. You're gonna look at his father's relationship with his mom, right? Let's look at Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil's parents' history from Fresh Prince. Let's look at his family history, right? Uncle Phil was raised by his parents, Joe and Haiti Banks. So he was from a two-parent household. His father was named Joe. His mother was Haiti. They were not very wealthy, but always made sure they had the essential. He was 16, right? So as you can see, it's the most important thing to look at for a guy if you want to apply the strategy. Look for a man who has a stable family, whose mom and dad are there. Banks is a stern but loving uncle. Every Avery sought to portray the character as Uncle Phil that everybody wishes was their uncle, right? And felt like it was, yeah, exactly. That's actually really beautiful. Um, yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, so they come from a background. Uncle Phil was a civil rights leader, right? He protested, and so he became a lawyer. And at that time, I think Vivian was trying to become a professor. And as you can see, like it was just stability from the beginning, from his family life to him not having any addictions, to him not being a party person, right? All of those are indications of a family person. All of this is a guy who doesn't have crazy addiction. So as a result, you become his addiction. So, so now that we explain all of this, right? So what's the method? Well, before we talk about the method, we're gonna go to a quick little commercial break. Stop complaining. We're gonna go to a quick little commercial break.
Are you needy and creepy? Do you have a tough time coming across confident when you like the person? A lot of the times you just don't know what to do. You have habits and patterns that whenever somebody triggers you, you completely forget what to do the right thing. Well, guess what? I have a course for that. And it's called The Psychological Game of Attraction, Natural Chemistry, and The Feminine Woman, what I call the fundamentals. All of those courses are meant to eradicate and exercise the needy, creepy parts in you through action. Meaning, you do what the videos say, and without a shadow of a doubt, you actually get the results. You'll notice that men call you back more. Men will want more relationships with you. They're gonna be the ones that are needy and creepy. They're gonna be the ones that want something. They're gonna be the ones that are the aggressors in trying to get a relationship out of you. But the problem is that a lot of people just watch one or two videos and completely forget that there's actually a system. Don't just watch one or two videos. Get the system either by purchasing all of them and get a discount, or purchase them individually. Because a lot of the times, just watching one video in isolation, you actually miss the big picture. You have to understand why it works. You have to understand what to do next. And a lot of times, my videos just can't address that. A lot of people, you see by the testimonies right here, a lot of people have done what those videos say, and they've gotten results. Like the other day, I was in Mexico, and they were like, "Hey, Alexis," and I'm like, "Hey, oh my God, you watch your videos are so great." And I'm like, and she was like, "Look at my kid." I'm like, "What you talk about your kid? That's not my kid." She's like, "No, no, no, because of him, because of your videos, he's here." And I'm like, okay, all right, that's a. But I get that a lot. And ironically, that woman watches all of my videos, right? So purchase those courses, man. And if you don't like it, you actually could get a 30-day money back guarantee, right? Purchase them individually or get a discount and purchase them all by clicking on the description down below. You have the option of purchasing the one with the bonuses that obviously it's more material, where it's like I give you guys meditations. There's also other courses on how to make friends, how to master anything, or you could purchase it without the bundle, which is much more affordable. All right. And with that, you guys are able to support my channel, which will allow me to make more videos. Okay. Anyways, see you guys inside, and thank you.
Man, I don't like the fellow that yells at us. Keep talking back, Melissa. Keep talking back. All right. All right. So let's continue, Elizabeth. So so what is the method, right? So it's actually very simple, right? Let's get the notes right here. Um, Here's the notes. The notes, man. Okay, here it is. So first step is choose the right guy. That's to me is and how do you do that? Well, go for guys who want stability, but how do you know that? Right? Maybe you never had stability to know those things, right? Well, essentially, if you're not stable, you're not going to be able to find somebody's stability attractive. It's pretty much what you find attractive, and what you find attractive is what you are or what you suppress, right? So if you notice as you start to heal as a person, as you start to let go of certain traumas, you might notice you stop hanging out with certain people. You might notice you start to see your exes differently, right? And if you go from instability to stability, you might notice that all of a sudden the people who you find attractive now you see them as red flags. And unfortunately, too many people are just unstable on antidepressants. They don't know how to be. They're just not happy. So they find other people's unhappiness and expression of unhappiness, right? Which is they might be rebellious, they might be adventurous, spontaneous, they might be open-minded, right? They like to travel, or they're mysterious. You might find that attractive. When in reality, that's the part that causes them to not to always want new things. They'll treat you like they treat a country. They'll be in that country, and then they'll be moving on to the next. You must first find stability within yourself so that you could be drawn to other people's stability. That's the only way you're gonna discern. You don't think some women thought Uncle Phil was a goofball, was a nerd? Of course, of course they would, but they're not for you. If you find men like that boring, I promise you, you will never, ever find long-term stability with a guy that actually fears losing you. The next thing, and is actually one of my favorite parts, have a mix of harshness and softness. Remember when Vivian Banks was picking up those gangsters from school, was picking up her son from school, and let's see if we can find the clip here, right? Vivian Banks gangsters, right? Let's see if we can find the clip right here. There you go. I want to find a short clip. Hopefully, I don't get demonetized.
Colin, you are not going to MacArthur Park tonight. In fact, none of you are going to MacArthur Park tonight.
Right? If you see this, you might think she's a Terminator. No, she's not. She's extremely feminine. It's just that she has that side in her. Well, I can promise you, Uncle Phil likes that. I can promise you, she likes that.
Wait a minute.
Boy, do not test me.
So, guy, that was Georgina. That was the Georgina. She had the energy. I mean, the whole thing. But the difference is her femininity. If you guys notice, she's being very demanding, but she also looks like she's about to go to church. Right? People like the mix, and as men, we find that extremely attractive. You want to know why? Because if your mother was like that, if your mother was a mix of harshness and softness like Vivian, you would respect her. You got to think about it as a son. What do kids respect? Kids respect a stern parent who's also soft. Men find that attractive. Kids also find that attractive. And you develop that through having, I'm gonna say this, and I say this because I didn't have a dad. You develop that through watching other people. Example: this is why The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was such a beautiful show, because it gave the Black community and people in general, because I watched it too. Here we go. I didn't say I'm Black. Right? People, I'm not part of the Black community, man. I'm Dominican. Oh boy. The comment sections are about to go crazy now. I'm sorry, Black people, man. I love Black people, man. I love you guys, man. I do. But I'm just not Black. I'm Dominican. It's different, man. Oh God. Here we go. Oh, okay. I'm Black. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't want to offend people, man. Oh man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, like she just had, and so that mix is a guy. A guy would silently observe that, and the guy would say, you know what? I don't want her. I don't want to lose her. And the next thing is that she's not home all day. She doesn't have that white thing where she's always home. She had her own life. She was a professor. And remember, man, next thing about her, and this is honestly, I do love. Honestly, it's kind of crazy what reading this, because it's kind of insane. She followed her passions. She followed her passions, man. She wasn't just at home all day. She was a dancer. Remember, she wanted to be a dancer again. And even though she was old, I'll be honest with you, I admire that, because I was like that. Like at 28, I started wanting to learn how to paint, and so I kind of relate to that. And that's a quality that when people see, they admire that. And as a man, I'm telling you, man, like a pum pum is not gonna make them fear losing you. Well, it does actually, but that's usually for younger guys or for guys that never have sex, that are pum pum depraved. They're going through a pum pum crisis, tariffs on pum pum. Oh, Lord. And the next thing, Phil respected her not just for her strengths, but for her weaknesses. Remember when he was looking at her in the mirror, right? He was telling that because she was doubting herself. And as a man like Uncle Phil wants to make you feel like you're the queen. A man like Uncle Phil doesn't want to see his woman feel bad. And so in that moment, a woman who's as strong as Vivian, who's willing to go in the hood and tell gangster, you're not going to MacArthur Park, she felt soft and feminine, which allowed Uncle Phil. She was like, even like that, and when Uncle Phil was like, bitch, like, bitch, look at the mirror. Don't you, girl? Don't you know you look good? Look at that face. Come on, girl. Work for your dad. I'm kidding. Right? He was like, you're beautiful. Look at that. She just looked up, right? She, of course, like it's some women don't like they feel awkward at people doing that. Like if you watch the Mindful Attraction podcast, the first episode, in the first episode, people were praising me. They're like, "Oh my God, Father Alex, you're so good," and I'm like, "They're like, oh my God, Father Alex, you help me tell somebody else." I was like, "Okay, okay, all right, okay, okay, all right, all right, okay, hurry up, guys. Finish the happiness. Let's ask questions, right?" Some people are not good with getting compliments, right? And some women are not good at that. And because of that, they don't let the man be a man. Actually, you gotta let the man be the man. Desiree, Julissa, Vanessa. Y'all gotta let a man be a man. It feels awkward to receive a compliment. It feels awkward because feminism says to be strong, but to be strong as a woman is to allow a man to speak to help you become stronger. It's just how it is. And this is the next part. And I find this to be the most important part. If you guys look at her, she's in shape. She never let herself go. Even after having kids, yes, it's a show, true, but she kept herself being in shape. She was mentally and physically active. Right? Listen, Paula. It's as a guy, that every guy's fear, and I know it's superficial. It sucks, right? It sucks, Carmen. But guys don't want their girls to to you know what I'm saying? Keep yourselves in shape. Oh, Uncle Phil was shut the fuck up, Melissa. Okay, be respect Uncle Phil. All right, but that's just how it is. That's just the Vivian method. Obviously, I'm not just saying that if you gain weight, a guy's not gonna love you. Look at the guy from The Sopranos, right? Where they made fun of his wife and she was fat, and he was like, "I'm mad at you because you're not losing weight." She was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, It's not because I want you to lose weight, but because you're breaking your own promises. You lied to me." Like it wasn't just a fact. It wasn't the fact that she didn't lose weight. It's the fact that she promised him to do it and she lied. Like it's more like follow your words. I don't want you to consistently be breaking your words. And I don't need you to lose weight. I just want you to do what you say. And if you don't want to lose weight, that's fine. I still love you, man. But just make sure you do what you say. It's completely different, right? So as you can see, it's really a function of the man. And just too many women are just attracted to toxic guys. That it really is that. And how do you know? Well, it comes with trial and error. You're gonna have to go through 10 shitty guys, not sleep with them, but just have to meet 10 shitty guys to meet that one Uncle Phil. And some of you ladies are gonna find your Uncle Phil, and some of y'all gonna get bored. It's not for everyone. Stability and happiness is not for everyone, man. Because when we find it, I did that shit, man. I met a great girl too. She was perfect. And I fucking ruined it because it was my stupid ideas. And it wasn't her fault. It was my fault. She was great. I was the one that didn't see it. And she can't blame herself for my blindness. It's just that what she got to blame herself is not recognizing that I'm that type of guy. Or at least I was, and I'm working on not being that person. All right. Anyways, man, let me know what you guys think about this. It really is a beautiful thing.